The main thing to remember is that the brain remembers information more effectively depending on how it receives it. So whether you're talking to a client over the exam table or a new employee, if all you do is deliver your information verbally, 48 hours later your retention will only be 10%. If they read that information, you're up to 30%. About half of the population likes to take notes and normally takes notes in a lecture. They are going to be more effective learners than people that don't take notes, because writing as you're listening to something cements that information better into your brain. So then you're up to about 50% effectiveness. So my first tip, if you are training someone, is give them things in writing and require them to carry a notebook around and take notes. They'll also be able to refer back to those if they have a question, so that you're not delivering the same information over and over again. Again, you're going to be 5 times more effective if they're taking notes than if you're just telling them something. Next step that gets you up higher, you get 75% retention if that person has to repeat the information back to you or deliver it to someone else. So if you can ask that person, what did you learn today, at the end of the day or the end of the week, if you have them present information to someone else. So whenever my team members go to a seminar, they're required to present what they learned there to the people on their team, and they have to come up with goals and ways they're actually going to utilize the information they learned. Because to get to 100% retention, you have to use it. So for a technical skill, that's really easy. You can use that old adage, see one, do one, teach one. And by the time you've done it 3 times or you've showed someone else how to do it, you're going to remember it. But for background information, like why do we do it this way, or for scripting that you would want to deliver to a client, so they have to understand why this flea product is better than that flea product. Role-playing is effective. Making them take a test on the information is effective. Coming up with, what I do when I come back from a seminar is write a handout for a client, or I come up with a new protocol for us to use, or we talk about something in rounds. So you take that information and actually do something with it. So one of the things I've had my team members do is they go home with some little educational tool, something they have to read, and they create some little test questions for it. And then the next person that takes that reading material home has to take the test, and both of those people then are going to remember more of that information because they did something with it. If you don't refresh information at least 7 times in the first 3 weeks after you've learned it, it's not going to make it into your long-term memory. So you have to review, you have to go back and look at things, talk to someone else about them, set a goal, make a handout, something. And so you're going to be getting from 10% to 100% by thinking of ways that people can actually deliver or utilize that information.